everybody, and welcome to episode 25, but wait, episode 1 of the 2026 BAB, a New York baseball podcast season, as well as the MLB season, because Ed, we smell baseball again. And like we talked about in our last episode, it's official. We are not looking back in the rearview mirror. It is a new year, a new season, and yeah, it's officially episode 1 for 2026 here. But more importantly, in this moment, you see me and Ed not wearing baseball jerseys. We are wearing hockey jerseys for a great reason because the USA has won gold the first time since 1980. They beat up on Canada in OT to bring home gold for the US. So, Ed, you got anything to say about that? I know you're tuning in. I know you're dialed. I know you're excited. So that was awesome.
USA, USA,
USA.
USA. You will not catch me saying that very often, but yeah, got to feel good about wearing the gear, rocking some obviously Rangers, but USA jerseys were sort of replicating the Rangers motif this year, which let's see if that brings the Rangers any luck moving forward, being a New York baseball town and sports city. Not looking good, even though our head coach, Mike Sullivan, now comes home with a gold medal for the USA team, helmsing the first USA gold medal in hockey since 1980, the Miracle on Ice team, 46 years to the day.
That's
46
crazy.
years to the day, dude. Like sports are poetry. It's unbelievable.
And as you know, Ed, I'm not a massive hockey guy, but obviously everyone around the country was tuning in early this morning to watch that game. I think the coolest thing about it was also them honoring the late Johnny Gaudreau, RIP to him, watching his
Oh yeah. Yep.
parents, watch along as his kids are brought out onto the ice to celebrate. I mean, that's
Yep.
going to make any grown man cry. That was awesome.
Oh, dude, and again, going back to poetry, I was watching with my girl this morning, and like I got out of bed early for this. I was up a little too late,
And
and
that's rare for you.
I'm yeah. Oh, I'm running on fumes. So this is straight caffeine and national pride here, boys.
Runs on
So
Duncan, baby,
hey,
podcast.
let's go. Get that Massachusetts nonsense out of here. Anyway, New England, get wrecked. But we're all one nation today, and I do want to talk about that. Johnny Gaudreau, the goal scorer in this, right? So I'm going to bring it back to poetry. Brothers killed in that tragic accident day before their sister's wedding. In this hockey event, this USA team had two sets of brothers, the Kachucks and the Hughes brothers. Quinn Hughes in the last game, Minnesota Wild defenseman, scores the overtime winner to send the USA team to the final. Then Jack Hughes today, who plays for New Jersey, where Gaudreau brothers are from, plays for the Devils, scores the OT winner to send again get the gold medal for Team USA. Kind of poetic in every which
So
way.
cool.
And Connor Hellebuck standing on his head with 40 plus saves,
Dude,
outplayed. It's crazy, man. Just
that save, the
unbelievable.
stick save, and again, not a hockey guy, but anyone who knows sports, who doesn't even know sports, that's hard to do, bro. That was point blank.
Oh yeah, that's some King Henrik shit right there, baby. Speaking of our Rangers, sorry, I can't help myself.
No, it's
And
okay. I get it. I get it.
again, shout out to the Ranger team, JT Miller, Vincent Trocek. Happy to see those guys come home with some golds as well. Exciting day all around. And really, this is the only thing that I wish could have happened. Sidney Crosby was playing in this tournament, but unfortunately was out of the last couple of games.
Mm.
Sid the kid, not the kid anymore. He's actually the old man on the team, which is crazy. Born in 1987, the number on his back. Weird to see an 8 in any of those birth years anymore, if it's not a 98 for that matter. But my
Yeah.
point being, um, where was I going with all this? Sidney Crosby was the golden goal scorer in the last time the U.S. and Canada matched up in the gold medal game in 2010 in Vancouver,
That's really
right?
cool.
So we went 12 years without NHL players in the Winter Olympics at all, and now we get a rematch of what happened in 2010. I was locked in, college student, like glued to the TV for that tournament.
Drinking Four
Heartbreaking to see
Loco.
him. Four Locos. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on those. We should bring those back for an episode. See how that goes.
That would be, we'd be pretty, yeah, that'd be fun. Be
It'll be a
incoherent, but
it'll be a Fourth of July episode, right?
hell
Going
yes.
loco on the fourth.
We'll both be
So
in first
anyway,
place by then. So yeah, sorry, besides the point.
yeah, I don't think so. So we'll wrap it up with. It would have been really cool to see Crosby on the ice again, to see it go the opposite way. Again, he scored the golden goal on Ryan Miller, Buffalo Sabres goalie at the time, and that was probably the most excited I had been about hockey ever. And this was it was pretty close. It was pretty sweet.
I love it. I love
We should
it.
be outpacing it, but when you're young, it's just a little more exciting. So what I'm trying to say is, let's go, golden goals. Let's hope New York has more to offer or bring home on the baseball side of things, right?
In March, right?
Let's go.
I mean, wait, do I have the wrong March?
We're
or
starting in
May.
March. No,
Yeah, it starts in March, but
yeah.
hopefully bring it home in May. Wait, no, am I an
Oh, the
idiot?
World Baseball
That
Classic?
doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we're doing some more international stuff. World Baseball Classic, right?
Wait, but yeah, is my timeline all messed up here?
No, it's happening in March. That would be right before it would be
Yeah,
March 17th actually. We'll
always
crown
before
a
the season
champion.
starts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like 2 week tournament, kind of like the Olympics are.
I mean, yeah, it's not the same as the Olympics, but hey, we could bring
No.
home gold there. Why not?
Hell yeah.
Um,
Let's
and you know
go.
what? The other thing, last thing I'll say about hockey, obviously that's still awesome. Great for the team, the country, everybody involved. But also hockey jerseys, man, they're just comfortable. Like I just feel like I'm wearing pajamas right now. This is great.
Right? And they're
This is
so
nice.
cool.
I'm about to
And
wear
they're
this thing to
sick.
bed.
Right? And you just feel cool, man. Like I don't know. They're always these tarps are the coolest in sports.
Great tarp.
Honestly, the opposite of basketball. Basketball jerseys are cool. It's just you can't feel any. I don't know. I've always
Yeah.
felt like a
I
dork
do
wearing a basketball jersey, but I just dig the
same.
hockey.
I do prefer tarp off, but it's okay.
Well, you're sleeveless Al, man. Like you're a big basketball guy.
What can you do? Well, no, I just like the cutoff. I wish they would bring back the cutoff
Oh, you said show
baseball
off the
jerseys.
guns. I heard you coming out with that.
Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember when
Two
they still
tickets.
rock that sometimes.
Yeah, RIP to Bill Mazeroski, by the way,
Mm,
who was the home run hitter to win the 1960 World Series in those sleeveless jerseys back in 1960. Yeah,
so sick, dude. You know who
fashion
would love
forward.
that sleeveless jersey? Tyler O'Neill or like a Dallas Garcia. Those guys love
Oh,
going
yeah.
sleeveless. You see, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're on camera. They're sleeveless unless they're out on the field in the baseball
Oh,
uniform.
dude, I remember Yasiel Puig when
Oh,
they the
Puig.
he was with the Reds for a little bit, and they did the 90s. They did a 100-year anniversary celebration. They had like 5 jerseys, and one of them was like the 1960s Ted Kluszewski cutoff because they
Ooh,
designed those jerseys back then to show off this dude's arms back in the 60s, right? 50s, 60s. And then Puig wears it, and you're just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. This
dude,
is
you know what's
ridiculous.
crazy? Talking about that, like all these guys are coming to my. Remember, this is a great one to dig up. Derek Dietrich.
Oh,
Dietrich.
Dietrich, yeah.
He was loving that when he was a Red. I feel like he always rocked that sleeveless
Oh,
look, dude.
absolutely. 32 double D was his name on Twitter, by the way, which his number being 32 and double D Dietrich. Yeah, kind of funny. Tells you the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
does.
he's also the kind of guy that got choked out by Tino Martinez when Tino was the hitting coach for the Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins.
All
So
bark, no bite, man. All talk,
interesting.
all show. It's all for show.
All the gun show, baby. All the gun show. But,
Uh,
Tino had dad bod and dad rage.
They
So
know our secret. They know our secret, boys. But again, we'll reel it back in to baseball today, Ed. It's a great day to record again. Very much a great day for New York, for the country, but also today is technically, loosely, I'll say it, but a Subway Series matchup in spring that I am actually pissed
oh,
off about
yeah.
that. We were talking before we got on air. But it's not televised for anyone in New York,
I'm
really,
checking
outside of,
that
I guess,
out.
the Gotham Sports app. So if you want to watch Mets and Yankees in New York, go out to Boston, right? Go out
Oh,
to Philly.
look. I'm
What do you
telling you,
got?
check out your MLB app. I think they might be playing them for free
I thought it was out of market.
because I'm not logged in or anything, but I think they're playing them for free.
Oh, so we're all just assholes.
I don't know if it's on MLB, like the app itself on TV. I don't know if they have like I don't know, a mobile exclusive. Right now, we've got Hageman, right?
Yeah, hey.
Hageman
Oh,
versus Grisham.
we're live. All right, I'm gonna take the sound
Yeah,
off and we'll put it side by side here.
there
Obviously,
you
we got to
go.
record with the game going. That's what we do on this pod.
We're leading off. We got ourselves, as a timestamp for our viewers, we have a
Grisham's
2-2 count
mustache.
in the bottom of the first. And
Grisham's stash.
the Grisham stash is back. Merry Grishmas to one and
Oh
all,
God.
and to all good night.
Well, this is a great episode. We got a lot going on. We got Mets, Yankees. We got gold coming home. And today, Ed, we
And
were talking a few segments. I think segment one, we are going to be discussing. And if we're looking again to the side here, Ed and I are just multitasking. We're watching some Mets and
oh
Yankee
yeah,
baseball, obviously.
I'm just
But
trying to get this up right. There we go.
spring training reality check is what I want to touch on our first segment here today. It's kind of a fun one because
Oh no,
Stu
Grisham flew out. He's not worth the qualifying offer.
no, he's not. Aaron Judge is up, and yeah, no,
I'm
no
just
one cares
joking.
about that.
How
So,
dare you? Okay.
stupid early first impressions. 1 to 2, I guess, for the Mets, this is game two. For you guys, it's game three in
Right.
spring training. I thought this was a funny one because, New York, we love to overreact. We love to, again, hence the overreaction. I'm all over Twitter. People are saying, we can't watch the game. You can't watch the game. I'm literally watching the game.
Yeah,
So,
I think there's something. I think baseball might be trying. Well, let me say this with bated breath, or I don't even know what the right way to say this is, but with cautious optimism, maybe, just maybe, they're trying to get fans to watch the game again. because they're also worried about where TV rights are going to go. We'll talk
Mm,
about this on another episode,
that's
but
gonna be a big episode.
when this is a nationalized product, this might be just a test to see if fans are going to tune in.
Also,
Who
fun
knows?
fact: Justin Hagenman's nickname is Hags. Have a great summer, and he always says no one actually knows his first name. Fun little tidbit, because that's why I love spring. You got all these little weird, stupid storylines that mean absolutely nothing, but you get to learn about these guys.
And it's where some guys earn the greatest nicknames. So there you go. Fun times to be loose, have a good time out there,
Yep.
and
Have a
again,
great
shake
summer,
off the rust. Have a
Hags.
great spring.
Have a great summer in Double A. No, he's a journeyman. We've seen him in the MLB. He might be there. He's a I mean, hence I hope we don't see him. That means we got some injuries going, honestly. So
Well,
besides the point,
he's got Judge on a 2-2 count here, so we'll see how that goes for him.
full count. I'm ahead of you. I won't say anything, even though it's spring.
Oh
It doesn't really
shit.
matter.
Okay. Well,
What
you can give it up.
what's that? It's spring where the games and the points don't count. That's whose line is it anyway? Anyway, let's
Yes.
say.
True. Thank you, Mr. Carey.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And he walks him. And
he
Judge
does.
in mid-July form. Let's get back
So
to
yeah,
it.
let's get to it. So I want to start here. We could go rattle it off. We're not going to be too crazy. We're going to be a little loose on this episode. Just kind of talk here about things going on, first impressions, kind of what's fair to react to, what's not worth reacting to yet, early roster usage, any notes or call outs. Yeah, we might not even have any. And then maybe any storylines that you think are worth tracking, not just nicknames and hags, but anything that's actually a worthwhile storyline. So Ed, I did want to say and jump in first because again, as New Yorkers, people are already berating Bo Bichette. So I had to lead off here if you don't mind.
Of course, please
Because the whole
take it away.
first impression thing and what's fair to react to are just worth ignoring. I mean,
I just saw your third baseman make an excellent play, and I was like, could that be
sick play.
Bo Bichette? But it's
No,
absolutely not.
it's not. That's the funny part. Is that Christian Arroyo, ex-Red Sox?
I think
It
it
might
might
be.
be. Yeah. I was
Little
wondering. Yeah. Oh my God. That looks
little
weird.
that's a fun one.
Yeah. Huh.
I love having those guys in there. You forget all about who have minor league deals, who have a chance of cracking the big
Yeah.
league roster.
Completely
But
lost me. They had the whole, they had a picture of all the spring training invites for the Yankees, and like the line of players extended down to the foul pole almost. Insane.
it's
Just an
great.
insane time of
I
year.
mean, Arroyo's coming for Bo Bichette's starting role. Just kidding. That's obviously not a thing.
That would be
But
hilarious.
I will say this, and this is what bothers me, but this is New York and we're used to it now, Ed, is it fair to react and overreact to Bo Bichette's third base play in game one of spring training? The first time he's ever really played that position in his big league career? Obviously, no. It is not worth a overreaction. It's not worth a is he worth the money conversation. I see people saying, well, he went 0 for 2. I thought his bat was going to be what is the like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Like, I am sorry. Like, that pisses me off because he's already in a new position. As we know, he's on a new team. That all takes time, right? We have to be a little patient, let him adjust. And like also the throw he made yesterday, people are, braiding him for that the first baseman or whoever the hell it was, some spring training guy, number 150 probably, um, didn't make the play. It wasn't like he had the out. It wasn't that hard of a play to make. He just didn't catch the ball. I didn't think it looked that bad, to be
It
honest.
wasn't terrible. He threw into the runner's
He
path,
did.
which is not ideal, but
But
that's again
that's
adjusting to a
fair.
new position on the field, right?
Yeah, like he still made the play. It seemed smooth enough, and it was a long throw, so it
Hmm.
wasn't a short hop. He made it over there. Sure, it was into the runner. It wasn't as accurate as you would like, right? But I don't know. At the end of the day, I think it's just not fair to make that kind of assessment. Not even a game in, but even a week into spring. If he's doing that by, say, mid-March, then we got some issues. But right now,
Yeah.
Ed, complete overreaction. I'll pass it your way.
Yeah, no, of course. And dude, we're going to continue to see A-Rod sort of comparisons throughout this process, right? Shortstop to third base, star, all that stuff, bringing his star power with him to New York, having to move over because of not displacing an already great player at that position. So you're going to see it time and time again. And my memory from that, going back all those years, 2004, watching A-Rod first get adjusted, he was by far a superior infielder than Bo Bichette was ever, right? Like he
Of course.
was the superior shortstop to Derek Jeter. But the thing about A-Rod is he had the arm, which works, and he got out of a lot of trouble because of that arm. I don't know that Bichette has the same arm. I think Bichette might play, a pop foul ball, kind of like one of those things in foul territory a little better than A-Rod did. That was his bugaboo. So again, it's going to be a learning curve, but again, you said he's a good worker. We'll see how it goes. You can't overreact to that in spring training. And again, not the worst throw. He did show that he had some good strength on that arm. Just again, got to straighten it out and bring it further over to the left side, and maybe again adjusting from that focal point on the field, right?
Yeah, and sorry,
Um,
real quick before you jump into the Yankees, any
yeah,
early overreactions or reactions? The one last thing I'll say about that too is like that's what I want to see. I want to see the long throw. I want to see where he has to back up on the ball and be as far as possible to see that. I have no problem or worries with him charging the ball. I mean, he's versatile. Like he's mobile.
right.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the throws that are literally on the borderline infield, outfield by the foul line, like as long as it could get, and see
Right.
the accuracy there, and see the strength behind that throw. And I was okay with it, honestly. For again, like literally
Yeah.
the first throw of his third base career as a Met. Like, come on.
Did you see any other plays in that game? How many innings did he get at third
I'm
base?
pretty
Did
sure
you
him
pay
and Simeon
attention?
only got two. I was driving at the time. I only watched the beginning. I had to run out.
Yeah, got it.
But I think they all only got two. I know Soto got two at bats. I think they all got two at bats. Those guys.
So nothing overly newsworthy otherwise.
No, and
Yeah.
Simeon made I think a play or two. He had the first play of the game, but like Simeon's a Gold Glove second baseman. He'll make those plays with his eyes closed. I'm not worried about him at all,
Right.
obviously.
Totally.
So on the Yankee front, anything that you think is worth an overreaction or first early impression in general for
Well,
any
I
team?
saw something. We'll go with social media reactions because I think that's the only overreaction worth considering at this point. I don't have any myself. I think it's much too early to say anything, but
Agreed.
the first early innings of the game yesterday where the Yankees absolutely trounced Detroit, and Aaron Judge again, 2 home runs. We'll get back into that. But earlier on with Carlos Lagrange, really big arm, for the
He
the
looks good,
Yankees,
man.
looking good. A lot like Dylan Betances, gives you that kind of vibe. Big, burly character, imposing figure, and just the way he delivers the ball. If he could be half as filthy, you'll be happy about that. But the thing that was going on in one of his innings is a couple of bugaboos in the defensive side, right? We saw a bad play by JC Escarra kind of being thrown into the outfield as he's trying to throw a run around at third. Prior to that, we saw Dominguez make a bit of a bobble on a routine like play to left field or a base hit to left field. And then a ball that was hit just past a diving second baseman shortly thereafter for a run to score. So I saw some social media reactions like, what the hell's going on here? Oh my God, it's happening again. These guys will never win a
Just the
game.
rust. It's
This
so
terrible
crazy.
defense. And, exactly. So, again, overreaction. I don't think the defense is going to be the Yankees' ultimate problem this season. And if anything, with all that being said, uh, we can go to the other overreaction. Could be Lagrange, but it also believe that he is something to get excited about in the same breath. So we're talking about bullpen being a concern. I think that's a piece that we could get excited about, maybe being a potential addition coming out of camp.
Yeah, and just to chime in on that, again, right now, Ed, we're being very civil with each other. We're not too deep into the back and forth and yelling about, oh, home run, Jared Young off Luis Gil,
God
little
damn it.
pull home run. That's Jared Young, man. He might make that roster or at some point in some shape or form. But
And Heel's going to give those up. Like, again, I want him to stick with a fastball and challenge guys up like that. That's not a ball if he's, mid-July and throwing well that should be squared up like that. But hey, you live with the solo home run here and there.
yeah, look, I mean, also that was just a flat fastball high in the zone that he just. I mean, hey, that's good for Jared
That's what I'm
Young.
saying.
Good
Yeah,
for Jared Young.
absolutely. Nice
But
lefty swing right there. Oh, yeah. That was, man.
he's just sitting there, right? Oh, here's Christian Arroyo. But okay, sorry, gotta get on track here. But again, why not? We're also broadcasting the game too. We're doing it all today.
You're welcome, fans. You're
Yeah, you're
welcome.
welcome. Not that you're gonna hear this the same day anyway of the game, and you probably watched it, but whatever. Besides the point. So
If
I
you're
want
into
to,
old news, where are your guys?
yeah,
Anyway,
and
go
I
ahead.
want to say on how do you pronounce it? Lagrange, Legrande,
Lagrange. I thought he was joking, but I think that might actually be it. Lagrange.
Lagrange.
It
I
looks like
like
Lagrange or Lagrange, but it's Lagrange.
Lagrange. Well, that's like French,
Yeah,
Lagrange.
Lagrange. Lagrange.
But yeah, man, he looks like the real deal. He does remind me, similar to what you said, of a Dylan Betances, and he just effortlessly throwing 101
Yeah. Oh yeah.
early in spring. So like
Gotta love that.
again, we have a lot of guys now. It's the modern day and age of baseball who throw 100 plus. Like we know that that's the norm. It's not rare, but when you're doing it effortlessly like that and you combat it or not combat it, but complement it with such a nasty breaking pitch like he has,
Yeah, dude.
that's gonna. I mean, look at Edwin Diaz, right? Fastball slider only.
Absolutely, and that's all you need. It was Jabba Chamberlain when he first came
If
up.
it works, it
It's
works.
so many guys that that was Randy Johnson. A lot of the best players. CC Sabathia's fastball, changeup, slider. I mean, changeup was a big part of it, but again, fastball slider is a deadly combo, and I don't care if it's called a sweeper or what. It's a slider to me. Call
I
it
don't
what
want to
you want.
say. I don't want to say overreaction or underreaction. Again, it is early, and we have to see more of what he could do. But like the stuff is there, and when the stuff's there, it'll translate. as long as you don't have like I have the yips and et cetera and all that good stuff, and your mental is good. So
Exactly. Exactly.
so we'll see. We'll see what he could do, Ed. So I think again, it's too early for you and I, level-headed Mets and Yankee fans, of course, to have any overreactions. So
Yep.
I did want to note something though as we move forward through this segment is touching on kind of storylines to track or any just usage or notes to call out. Again, we could bounce around whatever you feel like aligns well with where your team currently sits and stands. And for me, I was listening to the radio this morning. By the way, on the way to shop, right, because the whole world acts like it's falling apart on the East Coast
Oh my
when
God.
you get a sniff about snow when it's literally not even snowing. It's just drizzling rain. I
Dude, I'm
think
in the city and people are doing the same thing. I'm like, you don't even drive, people. Like, your bodega is going to be open. You'll
there
be
were
fine
no
for two
yeah,
days. It's going
and
to
there were
melt.
bro, and everyone buys everything out. There's no green beans. There's no broccoli. I'm like, what's going on here? There's one pack left of ground turkey. I'm like,
Hey, listen, try to be unhealthy for a few days, all right? You can go to McDonald's. Same thing to you, all right? And get
nope,
over it, kid.
not today,
Be resilient. You'll
not
be
today.
fine.
We're locked in. We're locked in. But yeah, man, it's crazy. But I guess what I'm trying to say, where was I even going with this?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I couldn't
okay.
help
That's
it.
on me. We were talking about the snow,
Snowstorm, bad here, nice weather down there.
something about the
Something about us.
storylines that. Oh, I was
Oh,
listening to the
yeah,
radio on the way there. That's what we were doing
there
here.
we go.
Um, so on the radio, I was listening to the Moose, as we know, on
Nice.
the fan, and they called in one of the doctors to give like kind of injury update on both Mets and Yankees. So it's kind of good timing. So a storyline for me, obviously, is still going to be Lindor and the hamate bone, and I got some promising updates from said doctor that I don't remember his name of,
Okay.
but they were saying how the hamate bone, which I guess is in your pinky, like
Oh,
here, from what I
huh.
understand, or something like that. It's the one that protrudes outward, kind of like a hook bone or something that they do the surgery
Yeah,
on.
it's in your pinky. I thought it was in your wrist here. I thought it was like a hook in
Oh,
this specific part. I
maybe
thought
it's
it
just
connected
somewhere here
this
in
to
general.
this.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
connected to the pinky,
Or maybe, yeah. I
um,
think it is. Like, I think it's all this, if I'm not mistaken.
something
The
like
outer
that. And
part
but
of
he
it.
was saying that there's this hook bone in there that
Yeah.
like that was a surgery done to Lindor, and by taking it out, you don't necessarily need it for grip strength or anything along those lines. So they said something that's worth just going in and doing that, and then it's a 6 month, no, excuse me, six
6
week
week. Yeah,
recovery, which
yeah.
aligns him, very much in line with opening day, essentially, roughly, right from here on. Yeah, I would
I,
say
I
close to
mean,
it.
hopefully you don't have to give him too much time, but you'd still give him 2 weeks if you had to, right?
Exactly. But it's
Yeah.
promising because the biggest thing, whether he misses the first week or whatever,
Yeah,
it's fine.
exactly. Exactly.
But hearing the doctors say, yes, the problem with that sometimes if you don't remove that bone is, when you're gripping the bat, obviously this bottom piece could brush against the knob and really mess you up and really
Yeah.
continue to hurt and make that injury worse and worse over time. So taking that bone out helps a lot. And he doesn't have a worry that when you're in season outside of mental, that it's going to throw him off. And I guess I was trying to think why it threw Alvarez off so much. Maybe it was mental because I'm pretty sure he had a similar surgery. He didn't
Yep.
just wait and deal with it. I think he had the surgery as well to take out said hook bone or whatever the heck it was. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Besides the point, but I
No,
think what
like Teixeira had the same thing years ago, I told you. And it was like we talked about this with Alvarez. It was just a finicky, took a long time. And maybe when you're using your wrist in that way, catching first base, it's slightly different, right? The twisting mechanism. But at the same time, shortstop, you're just as involved. So again, is it
100%.
is his glove hand or his throwing hand? All these things are factors. He's a switch hitter like Teixeira was, right? So that maybe could be a factor if maybe one side's impacted more than the other.
Yep.
Alvarez is just a righty, right?
Yep.
So there's the difference there. So again, I think talking to that point, it affects everybody differently, but you could see it just being a little concerning in the way that Alvarez was affected. Hopefully, it doesn't have the same impact on your guy.
Yeah, and Lindor being a little, more seasoned of a veteran, obviously
Right.
for someone like Alvarez,
Yep.
stronger. I don't want to say stronger mentally. That's the wrong way to put it. But
No, but
like,
like been
you know
there,
what I
done that.
mean?
A little been there, but yeah, a little been there,
It,
done that.
it exactly knows
Yeah.
how has a better way of maybe going about these things, right?
Yep.
So that was one. And also before I pass it for any just storylines in general for you, they touch on the Yankees too. And what's promising for you guys is Garrett Cole and saying like if they think he'll get back to where he thought he was, prior to his injury, right? And a lot of what they were
Mm.
saying is the elbow for a pitcher is easier to bring back close enough to where you were prior to the injury versus say a shoulder injury, which is almost nearly impossible to bring back in the same shape or form as how you used to throw or operate in terms of fundamentals and wind up and all these things that you might have to adjust, right?
Hmm.
And they were saying it's like 80, 85% chance, I think it was roughly, of his elbow getting back to exactly where he was and how he was. So they're
Right.
optimistic that Garrett Cole, when he is back, he's going to look more like himself. And I think that's really promising, to be honest with you. And then they touched on Volpe as well. I'll just briefly say for you guys, and they were both saying, for the sake of Volpe and his season last year, I hope that was the issue, was the injury, which is fair. That's what everyone's
Right.
saying. And after a
Yeah.
down year, you always hope it's injury or whatever.
Right.
But
He
if
was
his
downplaying it. He didn't say anything about how hurt he was. Yeah.
yeah, it's always that story, right? But it was his, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were saying it was his non-throwing shoulder. So whether just because it was a shoulder and a torn, not labrum, was it? It was a torn something,
It was. It was a torn labrum.
right?
Yeah.
So they were saying non-throwing
Which is
shoulder.
insane if that's true, like depending on the degree too.
Then you got to give the guy credit and switch your
For
whole
sure.
perspective on this whole thing, right? And I'm hoping that's what it is. Honestly, for whatever reason, as a Mets fan, I always like Volpe. Volpe, I don't know why,
Well, I think
but
he gives you the idea of old school ball player, fast, hits the ball into the hole, whatever. Again,
mhm.
uses his legs, plays defense. You like seeing a guy like that.
Yeah. So there's my injury update. Um, But yeah, those are kind of the storylines I'm tracking, obviously, in general, as just for the podcast in general, those guys are big names. And then for the Mets in general, captain, not captain, you know what I mean? Um, that's huge. So I don't know. That's my storyline right now. There's not much else to go on until we get some more, spring under our belt. But
Right.
what do you got?
Well, I think that's good points all around, and I think like for the Yankees, storyline is going to be that shortstop battle. I think talking about Volpe, I think that's
Mm,
going to be the big one for the early going, especially because he's going to take some time to get back to health and probably not going to start the season healthy. I would imagine, right? I think we'll start the season with Caballero as your starting shortstop, but you've got guys like Roderick Arias who had a home run yesterday against Detroit. He is one of the bigger international free agent signings from recent years, a guy that people thought would be competing for a starting position as the starting shortstop for the Yankees by this point. So
mm,
he puts the fire on a little bit more for Volpe as well. Again, hasn't made it past Tampa, so you're not looking at maybe anything imminent, but a good spring can open some eyes, and you never know what's going to happen and when a guy turns the corner themselves.
100%.
Um, so again, home run early on, maybe an overreaction kind of thing as well. Paul DeYoung, came in, played a couple reps yesterday or a couple at bats, had a hit as well. So again, that shortstop battle is going to be interesting. Even third base, I would say, to see how that left side of the infield plays out. If young guys emerge for the Yankees, and again, even a backup catcher position. So I think those are the storylines I'm looking at, sort of like those fringe guys who you're not so sure are going to be the long-term solutions at spots. Again, I think more than likely Volpe is going to get all the run he needs to have that position. But looking at third base, Ryan McMahon might not be the long-term solution. If he's a great defender or has a big camp, one way or the other, um, you're going to be happy to keep him for the early going if he's doing well, but maybe you explore other options if you got somebody hot coming up on his heels where defense or elite defense isn't all you can wait on for that lineup right now. So,
100%.
and maybe just another right-handed batter emerging from that lineup, right? That's something we got to talk about. Outfield's a little stacked, but seeing Spencer Jones, obviously a lefty bat, hit that bomb yesterday. Probably not going to be the viable option. Is Dominguez going to be that guy? Can he even bat right-handed or left-handed, I should say, or right-handed, which is his natural side, but he can't hit right-handed. All those are the big storylines. So yeah, I don't think I have one specifically, but I think little roster battles like that are going to be the ones to look out for. Obviously, injuries are going to be a thing, but I just sort of feel like they're going to work themselves out as they do.
I'm excited to see more about, roster battles and positioning. That's the best part about spring, right? But it's interesting, and we'll get more
Totally.
into it. I don't have much to say on the Mets front there because I was actually thinking about it like first time in a long time that I feel like our roster is constructed in a way that like
It's different. You're
there's
like set.
really no battles going on outside of maybe who's going to start in right field. I know Carson Bench is kind of we're keeping it warm to see if he is ready to be on the big league roster to start the season, or it's going to be one of these, a Tyrone Taylor or Jared Young or whoever the heck it might be. Which just to add speed and versatility, or Michael Tauchman, I always pronounce Tokman. I
Talk
don't fucking know.
Talkman, like
Talkman,
talk
talking
man,
man, the talking man, talk
talkman.
man. Just talking, just walking here.
You're just walking and talking, talkman.
So that's the only one that comes to mind for me. And obviously the versatility in the infield. Even if Lindor goes down, you slide Bichette to short, you slide Vientos or Beatty to third. You got Mauricio still in there. So like there's no battle for those guys. It's more so who's gonna be the first one off the bench. Or well, Beatty could also be a right field option. Who the heck knows? But like that's probably not your first thought. Someone who hasn't really played the outfield much. So where my mind goes, is just who's gonna be the first one off the bench. Where it's like obviously you got Polanco, like your infield set,
Right.
right?
Oh,
And yeah,
yeah.
it's completely set,
No,
which is rare. which is nice for a change. But it's like who's going to be sliding in first? Essentially, it's like is it Beatty who's going to be your DH, or Vientos is going to be your DH, or is Polanco going to DH and you got one of them at first, or Bichette going to
Sure.
get some time at DH and they're going to play third? So like it's all set. It's more so like who's going to be where and who's going to be the first one called off the bench to do so, or who's going to be that DH out of the gate. Which right now I'm leaning kind of a split between Beatty and Vientos depending on pitching matchup, which I kind of like.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's a nicer position to have them in, or you guys in, more advantageous spot than saying, oh, it's Ventos or Beatty for third base. And then the other guy might not even have a roster spot. Like
And that's
that
what it
puts a
was for
lot of
so
pressure
long.
and makes
Yeah.
them anxious, right? And everybody else sort of felt like they were clogging the way for something else to bloom. And maybe, again, all these decisions were waiting to happen. And last year was just that sort of last ditch effort to say, all right, you got one more shot, one
Hmm.
more kick at the can, guys. But until then, if it doesn't work out, we're breaking this thing up and starting again fresher, giving these younger guys a chance to sort of wait in the wings instead of take over a starting spot right away. They seem more comfortable doing that, a la, Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre or other quarterback situations.
Yeah.
It's nice to groom guys with veteran talent and or help do that with veteran talent around them. So yeah, this is the start of hopefully for you guys. I mean, I should say hopefully for you guys, meaning for you as fans. I couldn't care less.
But it's
Hopefully the start of a culture change
what's
in the
interesting about
clubhouse.
all that though, like when we after our last episode, I was like looking into just age of the teams. We have a good veteran presence and a good kind of median age, right? And some good leadership there from a veteran standpoint. But also like you're thinking like these guys are older now because they've been around for so many years, and this battle and this discussion of the baby Mets has been going on for a while. But like it's crazy. Like Vientos and Beatty are still only 26 years old. They might have not even hit their stride yet. So like there's still like some wiggle room there and some what do you call it? Some runway. There we
Yeah,
go.
room for
Earlier in the
growth, all
day.
that.
We're not
Yeah.
recording at night, Ed. We're sharp today. And like dude, when Alvarez came up, he was what, 19, 20, if that. So the guy's 24. He with injuries the past few years, like in his rookie season, we know what he did with the 25 bombs. I'm still not worried about him. And I know people are, but like he might not have hit his stride yet. Mauricio too is 24, which is
Right.
like I
I
don't
know,
know.
and these names are just so ingrained that it's like, wait, what the hell? It's the same with Dominguez and Volpe. They're 23 and 24. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Like, and that overreactions maybe. And maybe this is actually part of it. I
and
mean,
it's
it's
not.
been years, but
And this is the thing with the ML with Major League Baseball. You're trying to compete with the NBA and other things for viewers and whatever, but it's not the NBA. It's not the NFL. You don't come out of college and become a starter right away. You don't come out of high school and become a star or 1 year of college and become a starter right away. No, Aaron Judge wasn't a rookie until 26 years old. Like some of these guys don't figure it out until
right?
much later in their careers because it is such a finesse, mental, everything other than honestly physical game, right? The physical is just a very, in many ways, small portion of it.
Yeah, Pete
Um,
Alonso. He was similar, what, 23, 24 at the time?
right.
And
And you go 4 years of college, like that's what's going to happen. So again, it's just a different thing. You can't rush things. And it reminds me also of like the baby bomber era, right? When we had Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres and Luis Severino and
mm,
like, again, all these pieces, Judge, Tyler Austin was part of that. And eventually they shed like three of those guys and you're like, wait, what the hell happened? The movement was just starting. And it's like similar to you guys, right? Those guys are starting to move on. We're getting rid of a few of those guys, and now a couple of those are still remaining. And that was Gleyber Torres. He stuck around, and then they were like, "Ah, we're tired of you." Gleyber Torres is only 28,
like
29.
that's
He's
right.
been
He's in his
around
prime
forever.
now. Yeah, he's in his
Like
prime now. And like
it's
that's such a good point, dude, because you could hit 28, 29 with these guys, and you could watch Mark Vandos all of a sudden be a 30 home run hitter for the next 5 years. Or
exactly
Brett Beatty starting third baseman on, whatever team, and he's a gold glover, right? Like you don't
crazy.
know. And Alvarez, all of a sudden, you don't want to part ways with him because he might be, by the time he's 25, 26, he might be also 25 and 75 catcher, right?
Right.
And improves immensely behind the plate, which we've seen over the past few years anyway. So, long
But
story
not
short,
everybody makes the perfect, not everybody's the perfect addition. Sometimes somebody feels perfect, and then you make that trade, and that guy was actually the perfect addition. So,
exactly. And you know what, Ed? This is a great
uh,
episode to just bounce around. I'm liking this. I'm liking all the just the we're just giving the news today. We're just giving all these facts and news and like,
ways to
zoom.
make you think.
Yeah, and
Chew
it's
on that a
funny.
little bit.
A lot of fun facts. There's actually a good one that I just saw pop up as I was scrolling the Twitter feed while we were discussing here. Jared Young is a proud Canadian, vented some silver medal frustration with that home run to right field. That's kind of funny. I did not know he
Listen,
was Canadian.
Dominicans didn't even have a hockey team in the fight, so don't take it out on my guy Luis. All right, Luis Heel doesn't deserve your anger. You got to take it out on a good old burly American boy out there.
Yep,
Take it
yep.
out on Paul Skeens or something. You know, have fun out there and your Baseball Classic stuff. Is Jared Young playing for Team Canada?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Never know.
I don't know. Is he good enough? Or like I don't know
Team
how many.
Canada is one of those ones I never know who's playing for them. You know what I mean?
Same, same. I'm kind of curious now.
I'll
We'll have
check
to
it out
find. We'll have to find out.
though.
But that's just a fun little tidbit. I feel like just being today and as whatever it is, he probably and this game started what 1:30, so he's probably watching. They all were.
Yeah, that's true.
I had to
Honestly,
guess.
yeah, beating the bats on the screens.
Yeah, so that was
Um,
interesting. And then, other fun tidbit that I thought was good to touch on, and I kind of agree with this one, non-overreaction. People are talking that Carlos Mendoza this season will be on the hot seat. And with the roster construction, with the talent on the team, I do kind of believe and get behind that he should be.
mhm.
Is that crazy? Is that a reaction on my part? And I love Mendoza. Don't get me wrong. You've heard me talk about him. I'm a big fan of his, but the rosters he's had, and now the team and the depth you have, and the talent and the superstar like level, like if you don't, I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, first of all, that's a different story. But even winning the division, in my eyes, is not fireable offense, but it'd be further. The seed's going to heat up even more.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking that he makes it through a non-playoff appearance, right? Like if you have another season like you did last year, he's not making it through,
I agree.
unfortunately, because then
Yeah.
it just confirms some of the rumors that maybe he didn't have the control or the voice that he needed for controlling that clubhouse, for lack of a better term, right? And just to bring this back to Jared Young, he will be representing Team Canada in the World Baseball
Yeah, actually, just
Classic,
saw. I just noticed that too.
along with Tyler O'Neill, who you mentioned not long ago.
He's Canadian.
And
I had no idea.
right, and I also just want to throw in here, Justin Morneau will be the hitting coach for Team Canada.
Dude, I love Justin Morneau. He was a legend. Him and
2006
Mauer
MVP.
too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, Ed, sorry. Well, not to cut you off here. I
No,
have to
go
go
for it.
check on my cat. I'm here live. So if you want to give a 2 minute
It was great. I'll throw
anything,
a little Team Canada thing here,
there'll be
and
one
we'll
second.
get going. So Justin Morneau will be the head coach. Nice Kreider jersey, my friend. That's our guy.
Freaking.
Um, hopefully the camera's still on me. But Justin Morneau will be the hitting coach. 2006 AL MVP, beat out Derek Jeter for that award. So bringing that back to the baseball ties in this New York baseball town. And coincidentally, 2006 was the first World Baseball Classic. So he represented Team Canada in that one and now will be the hitting coach. Paul Quantrill will be the pitching coach, former Yankee. Russell Martin, the first base coach, former Yankee. Russell Martin didn't make a Mets appearance, right? No.
No,
I was
no. I
For
always
some
wanted
reason I
him.
had that in the back of my head, right? Just could have been. Former Dodger, former Blue Jay. The Russell Martin World Series was just played, and the bullpen catcher, just to throw in a little personal touch, and this took up perfect amount of time, Alec, just so you know, my
Good.
rambling. The bullpen catcher for Team Canada, as I ramble and stumble and bumble my way through this, is Kellen Deglin, a former Melbourne ace, which I worked for when I was down there in the Australian Baseball League. He set the modern day record for single season home runs for the Australian Baseball League with 16 in that short 40 game season. So, our guy, Kellen Deglin, good to see him repping Team Canada as the bullpen catcher.
Wow.
Anyway, what
No,
little
uh,
ties?
I love it. And Ed, that's why it's always great with the encyclopedia of baseball knowledge that you have. That I could just run off screen and you could just give the people anything and everything under the sun, baseball worthy that they might not even know about. So I love that.
They're begging for your return.
Mm,
Josh Naylor, and Bo Naylor will be there, along with Jamison Tyone, James Paxton. Some interesting names for Team Canada out there.
I like it. I like it. Um,
So yes, hot seat. I think you're right.
yeah.
Mendy, unfortunately, I don't know who you'd go with without him, but I do think that unfortunately he would have to be considered hot seat worthy.
And ideally, we're not having this conversation because we are on our way to the promised land in 2026. But Ed, coming out of any storylines to get a little more granular here on the pod, and nothing too crazy today. Again, as we move through spring, we're gonna have different topics and one-off segments, really keeping it fun until we get to the meat of it when we're in season. We're talking the real shit, right? In-game stats, divisional rivals and playoff chances and all that stuff that really does matter at the end of the day. But all this matters, right?
Of
The points
course.
don't count, but it matters. Not Drew Barrymore. Drew Carey.
Drew Carey.
Maybe like Drew
Harry
Barrymore.
Carey. Drew Carey.
Fever
Hey,
pitch.
everybody. It's Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I love that show. Great show.
It was a great show.
So
Crossover we didn't know we needed.
yeah, 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 honestly. But this is a super early. Again, everything's extra early today. I kind of like this overreaction, early overreactions, early opening day watch
Yep.
list stuff.
Yep.
This one was fun. I thought rotational outlook, any early bullpen predictions or any lineup construction question marks. I kind of already alluded to the lineup construction stuff for the Mets, where it's not really any question marks. It's kind of just the order of how you want it, right? Whether Polanco's hitting in front of Simeon or Roberts is hitting in front of all of them, or you're going to have Roberts, lengthen the lineup in the 7 hole. And I'm not worried about any of that. We'll get closer to that discussion when we actually build out, you and I, when we talk through the 26 man, because we'll do that as we did last year, where here's the lineup opening day, here's the starting rotation, here's the bullpen. But right now, it's more so a watch list of who might be on the chopping block
For
or
sure.
close enough. So, I'll let you start this one. I don't really have much on my end. I feel like a lot of, again, it's crazy. Even the rotation, it's pretty set in stone. Like I know you have, again, your younger guys and your Tongs of the world who are kind of on the back burner here, right? Um,
Right.
but that 6 man rotation, which will likely go with, is pretty much set with the addition of Freddie Peralta. But we'll get to that. I'll let you kick it off with the Yankees first. I've been talking a lot of Mets on the last episode, so let's try to balance it out here today. So, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not a ton of, obviously early on to third game in now. So to look at what we've done, obviously we talked about having a ton of guys brought in, a few former Athletics and Seth Brown, Max Schumann,
I like Seth Brown.
um,
That was
right?
good.
Interesting piece, first baseman option, right? Righty hitter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's a lefty hitter. I don't know where I'm
Oh
getting
yeah, he's a
righty,
power lefty. Always was kind of a little power. Good fielder too, I think.
which makes a lot of sense for the Yankees to bring that in. Maybe again, guy that can work with Ben Rice a little bit in spring training, and you never know if you got him as minor league depth. Not a bad piece to throw in there to spell any injuries that we might have. So, obviously you got Goldschmidt back there at first base as another option. I talked about Arias, could be interesting as a backup infield option. Again, think he needs more seasoning. And as far as bullpen pieces go, again, Lagrange, I think, is a really interesting dark horse. Had 2 2/3 yesterday, only gave up 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts in those 2 2/3 innings with 2 hits and a walk. Um, no, 2 walks. Sorry about that. And then we got Fellows. Selvage is going to be an interesting piece. I believe he was one of our early draft picks from, was it last year? Brock Selvage. He's a piece that the Yankees have been talking about for a while. No, he's been with the team for a while, 2021. Um, again, lefty pitcher who's going to be a bit imposing out there. Honestly, I'm kind of speaking out of my butt right now because
No, keep talking out of your butt.
I don't think a lot of these things are going to start making more sense until probably they start breaking for the World Baseball Classic. To be completely frank, I think it's obvious what we're going to start our season with. I think Dominguez is going to be the biggest question mark as far as returning roster players from last year. Um, and I think all those other position battles are just going to be a matter of, okay, did you light the world on fire? Maybe we'll give you a shot. Yorbi Vivas is another guy that, had a cup of coffee last year and the Yankees had high hopes for. Another interesting piece at second base that could, spell Jazz Chisholm if anything should happen. He's had some injury history. Um, Again, it's just going to be interesting to see how these little secondary battles go in camp. I believe we just saw
You hit a big
Jose
part.
Caballero go
Yeah,
way out there. That's good stuff. You
he
love to see
crushed
that.
that.
Hey, man, if he gets a little more power, a little more pop to that speedy frame that stole 40 something bases, 49 bases last season, leading Major League Baseball, you're going to be in good shape. So, again, I like anything that makes the Yankees a little younger, more athletic. We talked about other guys. I probably jumped into this conversation a little earlier than I should have when talking about, overreactions and early reactions to spring training. But as I say all that, I digress and maybe throw in one more with George Lombard Jr. I don't think he's going to crack the team this year, but maybe if things go wrong with McMahon and he continues to light the world on fire, he could be a third base option somewhere
Hmm.
down the line during the season. So Yeah, I think really the bullpen stuff is what we got to talk out and break out more. And I'm gonna need to take a little bit more time to do my own research, as people like to say.
And you get,
Um,
oh,
I
sorry,
figured,
continue.
no, just to see how that looks like it's gonna shape up for me.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you guys again, like, are pretty set, right? And there's a few question marks to, what you're speaking to, right? And who you don't know who's gonna be securing certain spots, whether it's the bullpen or, within just the depth chart in general on the 26-man roster. But similar to the Mets, I feel like you're pretty set, right, in terms of your starting lineup and rotation outside of the injuries and when people come back, and that's obviously a big factor, the Garrett Coles and the Rodons of the world, right? So that all plays a role.
Absolutely. And it's a matter of going, do you go young on your bench or do you go the veteran talent that you already have? So you're going
Yeah,
to have
or
Ahmed Rosario already. Like you're going to have pieces you didn't have to start last season.
yeah, or it's a mix of both, or it's again when the time comes and the guys aren't performing who have been on the, kind of journeyman or whatever that you want to call them, who are on just the roster as a role bench player. They might take a back seat for a potential call up or whatever it is, depending on, as the season progresses, right? That all plays a role.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
it's crazy because as I'm looking here, I'm trying to find like a hole. Like every season for the Mets have always had like a pocket, right? That you're fighting for X position or X, role in the team. And like obviously right field we already touched on. That's I'm hoping going to be Carson Bench if he really shows out in spring. Even if he doesn't show out in the spring, like top prospect, first round pick. I want to see him. Everyone wants to see him. We need that. Everyone loves a nice spark from a 22, 23-year-old who comes up for the first time. It's great.
Hmm.
So whatever, we'll see. But like again, everywhere else is set. It's either Beatty or Vientos at DH. Your bench is set for those who are Torrens as your backup catcher. You have Hayden Singer. You got an Austin Barnes. You even have Kevin Prada, who was a complete wash of a first round pick. He was a first round pick years ago, and he still hasn't shown out even in AAA ball, AA ball. I don't even know where he is anymore. Um, Still on the roster, still playing spring, but he's never going to make the big league roster pending any injury, I would say, or any breakout performance. Um, but you have your Ventos, you have your Ronnie Mauricios on the bench. That's your locks for your infield depth and potential just versatility there. And then you have Tyrone Taylor, who's your outfield bench guy. And he's going to have that spot. He's going to take that spot. He's your late inning defensive firm up. He is your speed. He is just a great guy. I love Tyrone, honestly. And who would take that spot we already mentioned, right? That's your journeyman options. And talk, man.
There you go. See?
I said it that way. You know,
Walking, talking, talk man.
talk man, or I can't even think of anyone. Ryan Clifford, who I don't think he's ready to call up. He's only 22. He is a top 10, rank within our farm. Who actually want to see big power bat supposedly. He came over when we had that breakdown and traded away Verlander and Scherzer that year. We had our old friend Bucky at the helm. Um, but yeah, man, like it's kind of cool to see this, right? Where I'm looking here, I'm like, there's some names and journeyman. You have Bruhan, and you got Raymer, you got Christian Arroyo, and you got all these guys, like even MJ Melendez, who I kind of do want to see on the big league roster, who might be the one is fighting with Tyrone Taylor for a spot more than anybody. But dude, even have a G1 Bay who has potential, Christian Pache, all these guys who have been in the big leagues, who have had little bright spots and moments here and there, right? Who have potential talent. So it's gonna be interesting to see like what you do with these guys, where you fit them in, or you eventually maybe ship them off and trade them, and one keep your minor league roster is pretty stacked for pending injuries. We know how the baseball season goes, right? So it's going
True.
to be interesting. And then I'll shut up with my rant here, but also
No.
starting rotation.
Hmm.
That's I've been talking about the offense, but like that's set. It's Peralta, it's McLean, it's Peterson, it's Mania, it's Sanga, and it's Clay Holmes. Whatever order you want to do, feel free to dissect that. We could do that for days. Um, But like that's not going to change. And you have Jonah Tong on the back burner for kind of a filler, right? And then you also have Tobias Myers. So there's your like an 8-man rotation if you want. You know what I mean? So like
True.
plenty of depth, right? It's the bullpen. It's going to be the bullpen because you go usually with what 8 for the most part. Some teams go 7 with a long man,
Hmm.
or 6-man rotation will go 7 most likely. But you have Devin Williams, you have Luke Weaver, you have Brooks Raley, Luis Garcia, Brazaban, Tobias Myers. And then ideally AJ Minter when he is back, which I don't know if he's gonna be ready for opening day, but he'll be close. So we'll see. And then potentially
Yep.
Brian Hudson, another lefty, whenever Minter is or isn't ready, who we got from the White Sox in Feb actually. Just a nice ad. He's average bullpen lefty, but I
Gotta
don't
love
know.
that.
I'm kind of
More.
like And then again, Reed Garrett, Daniel Nunez are injured, probably out for the year, so that doesn't matter right now. But just again, depth that we know we had that we don't right now, but just more names. So it's like, who even has a chance to make this roster who wasn't already slotted in? Not many
Right?
guys, which I don't mind.
No. And that's not a bad way to start. Like
No.
right now, if you have too many questions right now, it's not a good sign. So it's nice just to know there's a bunch of options and we'll see how it shakes out. But again, more questions at this juncture means you don't have a plan, means you have too many injuries to deal with. And again, if all works out according to plan, you don't have to worry about all these extra pieces. And hopefully they're just minor league depth or pieces to trade by the end of spring training, or again, release them based on their spring training invite contract. So yeah,
100%.
this is the time of many opportunities, and you never know what could happen next. But Yankees are in the similar situation with their starting rotation. It's everybody we mentioned in the last episode: Fried, Rodon, Heel, and even with the injuries with Rodon and Cole, they'll be back soon enough. You got enough other pieces. Schlittler, again, Clark Schmidt won't be back this year, but maybe at the end of the season. Possibility, very unlikely. But there's no shortage of starting rotation depth for the Yankees as well. I'm not even mentioning all of them because, again, we're going to get into them as we go on, and I don't want to beat everybody over the head with how much great pitching we have.
Yeah.
It's really just going to come down, like you said, to the bullpen and how it performs beyond its own deployment, right? It's like last year, if all things went well, the Yankees bullpen should have performed beautifully, and as it was deployed, should have been a World Series contending team. But it didn't work out as planned. So
Yeah.
you got to just hope for the best.
What's funny, I'm smiling because it's interesting, as we go, right? You even get injuries throughout spring. I don't know why I'm smiling about that. It's not a good thing. But I guess the point is like we're talking about depth, we're talking about as we go, we're gonna have more to talk about, which is true. Like it's a long season, it's a
Totally.
grueling season. Everyone says, oh, it's not a contact sport. This, that. I don't care. You're playing for how long? You're playing 162 games, you're playing for a month in the spring, you're ramping up in Feb. Like it's a long slog and it's still very taxing on a player on I don't care if you're not tackling somebody, right? You're
You're beating your body up. Yeah.
yeah, it beats your body up, especially as they get older and you have more veteran presence. So as the spring goes, then some of these things might matter more than they do right now in this moment, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So
Facts.
so we'll see. We'll see. I'm also very curious. We'll dissect this in another episode. It just came to mind as I'm watching spring, and I forgot it's completely going to be implemented in the regular season this year is the ABS system. Um,
Yeah. We're
we're
gonna have to
gonna
break that down for
Yeah,
sure.
we're gonna need more time to break that down. That'll be another fun segment three on a future episode. We got some good stuff to come, ABS, TV deals, all this fun stuff to talk about. So I'm excited. But because first Mets and Yankee matchup here, spring
Hmm.
or not, right? We want to touch on Ed to wrap up today. Any memories or personal moments from just not just Subway Series, but just for the sake of our team specifically, anything that you remember from a spring uh training season, I guess, to put in a weird way, specifically, right? That matters, or like that really stuck out, like someone's first appearance. Like obviously Soto last year for us was very exciting because that was the first time we'd see him in Mets gear. But I guess what I'm trying to go with it to give you an example is something that over the past decade, a player that I was most excited about in spring, right? An appearance, someone that you hear a name about, a prospect. And even right now, Carson Bench, I'm excited to watch, obviously, but it was Pete Alonso. There was so much hype around Pete Alonso even early in spring.
Oh,
And
Pete.
when he debuted in 2019, man, first pitch, home run for his spring debut. And then he went on, as we know, that season to set the MLB rookie home run record. So, like, that's a great memory for me as a Mets fan is
Juiced balls. Juiced balls. Still.
that season. Yeah, probably. Um, but I don't know. For me, it's like you look to spring to just obviously have baseball back, and as diehard baseball fans, we're just happy to be able to watch again. But it's always nice to have those kind of players that really get you excited to watch them play, especially when they're young coming up and there's so much hype around them. And that was Alonso, right? And we saw what he did in the Mets uniform. So again, it's sad to see him go. This all comes full circle as he hit a home run in his first spring at bat as an Oriole against the Yankees, a
He's.
couple days back. So kind of
I don't think it
cool.
was his first at bat. I think it was his second, but
Oh,
still
my bad.
pretty impressive.
Call me out.
Sorry, I'm just
Keep me
saying.
honest.
Afterwards, he did say orange is my color. So, yeah,
Did he say that?
yes, he did. I mean, Florida Gators, right? He was a Met, now Orioles. To be fair, orange is the connecting thread in all those colors. Could have been
That
blue
is
and orange are his colors, but hey, you screwed that one up.
well, we yeah, we did. Yeah, we screwed that one up. Yeah. Edwin Diaz screwed it up for himself. Well, we screwed that one up. Could be. But no, I just want to pass it back to you. If there's anything before we wrap up today comes to mind that you ever, excited over the past decade for spring or longer than that.
Yeah, generally, just I mean, same thing. I get very excited about new guys debuting, right? You talked about Soto. I remember A-Rod again coming over. Didn't want to see Soriano get traded, so when A-Rod did make his debut, that was a big deal. Um, Johnny Damon, I remember being a big one,
Mm.
right? Just being excited to see him in center field because we hadn't had a guy since Bernie, really, right? And it felt like, all right, he's going to be the guy. Um, who else? Yeah, usually the debuts like that, and then like CC Sabathia, Burnett, and Teixeira back in '09. Just like moments where the team comes off kind of a disappointing season, and then there's a big, exciting moment the next year. So a lot of them are free agent, like big deal acquisitions that I got mostly excited for. You know, prospect names. I think The Martian was a little bit exciting for a while. Volpe had some excitement around him in recent years. But I think it's just the idea of watching them, especially the Yankees, when you get to the home debut, when they wear the pinstripes in Florida, only that first game. The rest, even today, they're wearing the spring training navy blue
I kind
uniforms,
of like
alternate
those, to be
tops.
honest with you.
Those are cool, and the Yankees are the only team without an alternate jersey in baseball. So, fun fact, this could be their alternate uniform, but they do not technically wear one during any major league game, outside of like the Players Weekend nonsense stuff that they do.
Those Mets ones are
Um,
fire. Just side note, I've always loved those, but
yeah, they're not bad, but I
yeah, not bad, not bad. They're all right.
the softball jersey top it can be hit or miss, but I do like the colorful options. I think with the Yankees, it's navy, so it's the pinstripes are almost a better, more appealing look.
That's
But
fair.
anyway, spring training, it's just everything's new, it's fresh. You're excited to see the construction and all together. I think that's the only thing missing this year is that this is why the Yankee fans are kind of like, oh, it's running it back. There's no one that they're like, I can't wait to see them in the uniform for the first time. The first time wearing it. Even a
Yeah,
prospect, you see them in your colors already, but that guy, that jewel, he's in that uniform. I can't wait. And then even like Javier Vasquez, I got excited for. It's just like random guys, just because you want to see them in their pinstripes for the first time. So
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
spring is to me. And I'll wrap it up with just one more quick point. Jazz Chisholm went to the other field on a nice little knock just now. And did the same thing in his first game against the Orioles the other day. So a couple balls where he went the other way to left field with just a shortened swing and approach. Something I like to see out of Jazz Chisholm early in spring training. Overreaction, perhaps, but something I like to look forward to.
You still want to see that stuff early by, especially, your veterans and your starters. You want to see that stuff earlier, sooner than later, obviously. So, I mean, sure, you take it with more of a, you're not as worried, right? Like,
For sure.
like they're gonna figure it out. Like Lindor, I think, what was it, last spring or maybe one of the springs where he just started off horrendous. Wait, no, that
Yeah.
was just his regular season. He started off really slow. Remember his first year, as a Met?
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
Um, so I was watching here. It was a nasty strikeout on Goldschmidt as well.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Well, that's going to
and
happen a little more
got
frequently these
got out
days.
got out of the inning. It was nasty slider. He painted it though. So that when you paint a slider like that, what can you do? But
Exactly.
as you wait on it, go the other way. But there's not much you could do there, old man. So yeah, no,
How
I
dare
I,
you?
I respect the shit out of Goldschmidt. You kidding me?
Of
From his
course.
Arizona days,
I'm glad they brought him back. It's a nice little piece to have, just if for nothing else, good veteran leadership and presence.
huge. He's just a good clubhouse presence. But Ed, a
Totally.
lot of things come to mind as we're talking here, and before we wrap up today, like what we could do. And I'm gonna keep us honest because I still owe a punishment from last
Yes,
season.
certainly do. We got to come up with
Um,
some new bets this year.
So, well, I'm not a gambling man, but we'll still have challenges, of course. But I will say this. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, I have to wear a Mets jersey when we go to a Yankee game
You
that
got
they're
to wear a
not
full
playing.
uniform. Full
Fuck,
uniform.
that's fucking
Full
nope. We don't
uniform.
have that in writing. Maybe that'll be a
That
new
is right.
one.
That was in recording. We'll find it. I'll go back. It's full
If you
uniform,
could dig
baby.
up the exact line and
I'm
thing,
going
I'm not
for it.
wearing
I'll spend
baseball
my
pants
time.
to a
It's happening.
goddamn Yankee game
I don't care what you
in the
think you're
middle of the
doing.
summer, mind you.
We'll have the fans vote on this. How's that sound?
Yeah, send us an email. We haven't got an email yet still,
If we
but
get more than 5 votes, it's a qualifying tally.
but all my friends will vote yes, so I'm fucked.
Sick. That's
Essentially.
sick. So you have good friends, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's what
great friends,
matters. That's all
great
that
guys,
matters.
great group.
What
But I
did you
will
ask for
say,
in life?
regardless, we'll do that. We're gonna do some live streams of us watching games. I think Subway Series this year will be great. All these ideas we'll obviously talk about it on the back end, but I think get the people excited. People want to hear that. Even if we're at a game, potential
Oh
live
yeah.
stream at a game sounds kind of hilarious to me.
Come hang out. Have a drink with us.
Come
Watch
hang
some
out.
couple innings,
You could be on your couch. We'll be at the game.
Exactly.
You're just hanging out with us.
Chime in. Tell us what Alex should do at the baseball game to make a fool of himself.
Let me know when I should go on the field, what inning, what time, what player I should give a hug to, all that good stuff.
What he should paint on his naked body. Yes,
Yeah,
I love
tarps
this.
off, baby.
Tarps off, sleeveless Al.
Leave us out. We're back. But I will
Let's
say
go.
we got a lot of fun things to come this year. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good content. I'm excited for it, Ed. Again, today, US winning gold, Mets Yankees. It's a nice little Sunday we got here. USA, good stuff, good
America,
stuff.
America.
And you know what? Again, I'm just happy. Obviously, we won, but also Olympics are done. Well, not done, but almost done. Football's done. And you know what all that means, Ed? We're just stepping closer and closer to opening day, to the baseball season, to the Mets magic, to the Amazins, to you gotta believe. I can't wait. I can't wait.
One step closer to baseball in the Bronx at the cathedral that is Yankee Stadium. It is going to be a hot summer, and we can't wait to bring baseball to you
It's
from
gonna be
here.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So everyone, that is gonna do it for episode 25. But again, episode one, the new season has arrived. Kind of, not yet. The games don't matter. The points don't count. Drew Barrymore, Drew Carey. Whose line is it anyway?
Harry Carey.
Regardless, you know what to do, people. Remember to listen, rate, review, like, subscribe, email, call, text, knock on my door. I do not care because we are back and baseball is around the corner, Ed. So LGM, you gotta believe.
Hey, everybody, you just hit a home run as we are shutting this thing down, and Luis Heel with four
Oh,
strikeouts and 48 pitches. But hey, I'll give you the credit. Home run to shut this thing down. It is 2-1 Mets. It will not go that way the rest of the season. Enjoy it while you can, folks.
and that's Terens, and I can't wait to hear Gary make that call. Oh my God, I crave it so bad.
There's no Jose Iglesias here today. Keep refrain from
Oh
using that
my
term unless you want to
God.
pay royalties to your man. But yeah, let's yeah. All right. You said
Eh,
it.
okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Get wrecked.
This ball is crushed. Man, what a shot for